Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and as promised, as I stated in my last video, I was going to do a comparison between Phil Heath and Hadi Choopan at the upcoming Olympia, of course. These two will more than likely be compared, and will they be 1 and 2? I don't know, but it'll definitely be, they'll both be vying for a top position, a top spot. I did not tell you guys which version I was going to use for Phil Heath. I said that I was going to pick a version that I think he will resemble. And I think this 2016 version of Phil Heath is the Phil Heath that we will see. I don't think he's going to have a gut like he did in 14 and 17, 18. I don't think he will be too small like he was in probably 2015. I don't think he's going to do that either. He looks pretty massive as of late. So I think he's going to be this exact 2016 version. And Hadi Choopan will more than likely be better than this. And who's to say that Phil Heath will even be as good as this? So this is, for Hadi Choopan, this is worst case Ontario. And best case Ontario for Phil Heath. But in the front relaxed position, I have to say, for all those videos and pictures of Phil Heath outsizing Hadi Choopan, when you look at just the arms, yes, that is the case. You see that? Phil has a whole lot bigger of arms. So in public, things of that nature, he is going to outsize Hadi Choopan. But look at the clavicle width. You see that? Hadi Choopan's a beast in the upper body. Phil's legs are so far greater in size. Of course, Hadi might have more finer cuts. When you look at the calves, it's a game changer. Perhaps. It's hard to say. Phil's might be too big. And Hadi's a little bit too small, but either way. Let's go to the muscularity round. And I think the front double bicep will depend on if or if not Phil can open up a little bit better and display those arms that he does. Because I do believe he has a much better set of guns if he displays them correctly. Hadi's might not be as hard and as crisp pronounced as Phil Heath's, but his display is perfect. Look at his V taper and his condition plus. Phil Heath, a little distension in the midsection. But still, like I said, those arms, forearms, biceps, if he is able to display them. Legs, it's almost a pick-em when you consider the quads. Phil's much bigger, but Hadi's a little bit more pronounced. And like I said, guys, the calves could be a game changer. Depending on who's judging this one, it is such a dominance for Phil, guys, even from the front. And as you can see in the front lat spread, it's the same thing. As far as the legs are concerned, dominance and the calves for Phil. Quads, Hadi definitely catching up in that area. But this time, the upper body is all going to Hadi Choopan. And there's no real argument with this, guys. Phil Heath, his clavicle seems to get more narrow, or his chest gets more narrow each passing year. And I mean, it's probably not going to be any wider, because if it was, he might be able to do battle with Hadi Choopan, but that's just making an excuse. That's just covering for Phil Heath. Like I said, guys, there's no excuse here. Hadi Choopan, no calves or calves. He's winning this one, and it's going to be trouble for Phil Heath, because I say oftentimes a lot of guys nowadays don't hit the front lat spread properly, correctly. Hadi Choopan and Brandon Curry, the two top dogs, number one in the front lat spread, I'm here to tell you. So they're really going to make Phil look foolish this year. Of course, from the side poses, Phil will definitely have an advantage over Hadi or Brandon Curry. It doesn't really matter. I think he's just too big. His arm is more dominant in this pose. Chest looks very good from the side. I'm a little bit nitpicky. From the front poses for Phil Heath, but from the side, he's going to be probably the best Phil Heath we've ever seen. So he'll more than make up. And he's been losing to guys like Kai Green in the front double bi and the front lat spread for years and years. So I don't think that will bother him. And the side tricep, I think Hadi Choopan will definitely have to, go stand next to somebody else when Phil Heath snaps this pose. Go stand next to Big Rammy. Not the best pose for Ram Man. But Phil Heath, it's going to be between him and Hunter Labrada, I'm telling you what. I'm telling you right now. Hadi throws his calf back, which I like for a guy like Phil Heath. I've seen him do it maybe in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. He did that year. But anyway, it's a guy like him that should do that. You might not want to do that, Hadi. But anyway, guys, it's a close contest so far. And if it is a tie heading into the back shots, I do believe that Phil Heath, he's really going to pour it on this year as far as the back is concerned. I think if I size this correctly now, I've never seen these two stand next to each other, but I think Hadi's going to surprise us with the size of his back, the width. But of course, if you're up close, if you've seen some HD footage, Phil Heath's back is just insane. The hard, crisp nature of his back. Of course, Hadi in the glutes, hamstrings, looks pretty darn good as well, but you look down a little farther and you see a small set of calves versus a giant set. Like I said, though, guys, that width of Hadi Choopan, I think it's going to surprise me anyway. He's got a big, huge, wide back, as does Brandon Curry as well. But like I said, guys, that crispness, it's Dorian-esque, is the hardness of Phil Heath's back. So I think he probably would get the back pose, or the rear lat anyway. And as far as the rear double bicep is concerned, I think those lower lat insertions are much more prominent in the pose like this for Phil Heath. You see that? Now, like I said, I don't know if I sized this correctly. The legs look the same size in both poses, but Hadi's back seems to shrink away in the rear double bi, whereas it was a huge, wide back. He could have showed a movie on it. I know, that's an old joke, but anyway, guys, to be all seriousness here, Rolly Winkler, reminiscent of Rolly Winkler, huge back in the rear lat, but fades away in the rear double bi. Either way, guys, if it was a tie, like I said, Phil losing the first front two, maybe, and Hadi maybe losing the side two, go to the back. If Phil's winning the both back shots, we go to the ab and thigh. Now, this could be a changer as well. As far as the game is concerned, a game changer. I used the Vancouver Pro. I couldn't find a very good picture of Hadi at the Olympia hitting a double arm overhead. He had a side arm one. And I've seen some video footage of him hitting the pose. He does hit an outstanding double arm overhead, ab and thigh, as you can see here at the Vancouver Pro. Just diced. So he could get some redemption. He could get some points back in the ab and thigh. Like I said, I have it pretty much tied. But then Phil winning both back. So Hadi's going to have to win this, the most muscular. And let's face it, guys, this is probably Phil's, one of his best poses. This, or one of the back shots, or there's probably two back shots. But either way, guys, those delts come into play, and those massive legs. It's all about size when it comes to the most muscular. Yes, that clavicle width, still more narrow than Hadi Choopan. I mean, Hadi Choopan, he looks impressive. He looks like a school bus. You see that? It looks like a front of a school bus. But either way, crab position, an even worse pounding that Phil Heath is going to put on Hadi Choopan if they do display this. Again, apologize if I got the sizes incorrectly here. I had to make Hadi taller for this one. He's not crouching down as far as the doctor, Phil Heath, Dr. Phil. Look at the calves, guys. Look at the calves. If it's a tie, I'm here to tell you, and a guy like me is judging this one, the calves are going to be a game changer. Anyway, guys, it's going to be an awesome comparison. You know how I feel about this one. I definitely would say Hadi might be losing out against Phil Heath. But this is worst case Ontario, like I said, for Hadi Choopan. Might not be this situation here. So I'm not going to really say one's going to be winning this or not. I'm not going to award a winner for this one. Hope you guys did enjoy this relevant comparison. And I cannot wait for the Olympia. It's going to be excitement, he wrote, for sure. Hit thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.